Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mike, and we have been diving into an incredible mini-series together. It's the real story that comes from the pages of the Old Testament section of the Bible, and man, it is full of intrigue and twists and turns and villains and heroes. It's the story of a young Jewish orphan named Esther, who has been named queen of the Persian Empire by a hugely self-centered king named Xerxes. And we hit pause yesterday, right after we were introduced to this very evil dude named Haman, Xerxes' right-hand man, who doesn't like this really, really good Jewish man named Mordecai, who just happens to be Esther's adoptive father. So in the overreaction of overreactions in the history of the world, he hatches a plan to wipe out all the Jewish people living in the Persian Empire. And he lies to the king to get him to sign off on it. And an edict is sent throughout the land announcing that the Jewish people have 11 months to prepare for their demise. Well, Mordecai sends a message to Esther telling her that she needs to step up and speak to the king about this. Esther tells him it's not that easy. To go to the king uninvited is a capital offense. This is asking too much of her. And Mordecai sends back this now famous response: don't think for a moment that because you're in the palace you will escape when all other Jews are killed. If you keep quiet at a time like this, deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place. But you and your relatives will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this? And man, that is such a challenge for all of us. You know, I'm learning that we can refuse to obey God. We can cower in fear from our calling, and he will still accomplish his agenda. I mean, just like Mordecai said, if you don't do this, it will arise from another place. I mean, God will accomplish his plan. Mordecai remembers that God had made a promise centuries before to Abraham that God would bless the entire world through the Jewish nation. A savior for the entire world was going to come through them. So he knew that somehow God would accomplish his long-term plans. But what happens is that we pass up the fulfillment of our own life purpose, and we miss out on an incredible work that God wanted to do in and through our lives. Erwin McManus puts it this way: if you wait for guarantees, the only thing that will be guaranteed is that you will miss endless divine opportunities. We all want miracles, and then we spend our lives avoiding the context in which miracles happen. We all need to take some courage. Hey, if you're a new parent or the parent of an elementary kid, a junior high kid, a high school kid, man, that can be scary. And there aren't a lot of guarantees. There's definitely some uncertainty, but don't back down from that. Don't take the easy way out. Be courageous, because God has placed you in that boy's life, in that girl's life, for such a time as this. If you're a boss, if you're a business leader, and things are a little bit scary right now, a little tight, a little uncertain with the economy, and there are definitely some opportunities to keep things going up and to the right, if you could just be a little bit shady, a little dishonest, come on. Don't settle for that. Be brave. Perhaps you are that honest leader for such a time as this. If you're a college student, a high school student, junior high student, and you know that God is asking you to lovingly, courageously stand for him as you head to school, and there might be some ridicule, there might be some exclusion, things might get hard for you, but don't shrink back. Be kind, be humble, be compassionate, love like Jesus, but be brave. Perhaps you were in that school, on that campus, for such a time as this. Maybe you've sensed God ask you to do something that seems like too big of an ask. The timing's not real great. It would make things really uncomfortable. There's way too many obstacles. It might create a little chaos in your routine. Listen, don't think for a second that God only asks other people to take risks, that he wouldn't ask something that's risky of you. He would. He does. And who knows, you might just be the man, the woman who was born for such a time as this. You see, Esther had a choice. Courage is always a choice. And you and I can make that choice today. So I want to challenge you. Make it. And I'll see you back tomorrow for episode 4. Have a great day.